Eric, I need you to read this really fast.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's Eric at Verus Engineering with another Aero video. Big shout out to my boys Paul and Clay for hooking it up with that 6 CFD and video skills. Thanks, Gear One. Appreciate your intro. Stick to my normal one. Hey guys, episode 8 at Verus Engineering on the time attack build. To summarize, basically we kept it. We did a lot of duct work last week. It took us a lot longer than anticipated, but we wanted to make sure that the radiator, the oil cooler, and the charge air cooler were all getting sufficient air. So basically that's what we did a lot of last week. We got in the dual element, which I'll show you here shortly, and we got in some front splitter bits, which I'll also show you here shortly. Let's go to it. So starting at the front, we basically utilized a lot of what FT86 Speed Factory already had done, but then we added to it because basically we removed the oil cooler, which was sitting right here. So we added some side pieces, we added some lower bottom pieces, which should improve cooling for both the charge air cooler, the oil, and the water actually. We took out the speed holes here, and we're working on a pressed in duct to make it look a little nicer than the 3D printed one that you might have saw last week. We're going to be using 3D printed dies, which should be pretty cool to see if it actually works out. On car, we actually have two flow paths for the air, basically an upper and a lower. So the upper is a much smaller area because it's just for the air intake and a little bit of the oil and radiator. That will be fed by the hopefully pressed in sheet metal duct. And then the bottom portion will see a lot more airflow, and that's more common on FRS BRZs as far as the opening size, and that will go through the charge air cooler, the oil cooler, and the radiator. This is a sufficiently ducted aero kit in our opinion. It is ensuring that all the airflow goes through all the cooling pieces, and that should improve cooling significantly on any vehicle. So if you're running into cooling issues, you should probably try doing something like this really easily before ordering anything else like a radiator, oil cooler, charge air cooler.
Alright guys, we are going to be doing some final seal work on the radiator ducting. Now, I'm not sure if it comes through in video, but basically all these cuts and joints between the bumper and the sheet metal, and even sheet metal to sheet metal, there are little gaps, and that's just because the parts don't fit together perfectly because they were manufactured by hand. And as a result, it would let airflow through these little gaps, which is something we don't want. So basically we're going to fill it up with some Flex Seal. It's basically window sealer, and this will be a short clip of that. This is a small little clip of our radiator ducting, which actually goes charge air cooler, oil cooler, and radiator. We worked a lot with what they had already, and then we added a little bit of additional parts here and there to basically just keep manufacturing costs down and to make it quick and dirty, like we've basically said this entire build is. It is quick and dirty, bang for the buck. We also filled all these little cracks, which are impossible to fabricate a sheet aluminum directly to the bumper, with some Flex sealant. So all of these little cracks are actually filled with sealant so that all the airflow going through this duct goes through the entire cooling stack.
All right, so this is the dual element. We basically removed the wing for right now because we're spray painting inside the car. But this is the second element. It's a 200mm cord, very specific profile. This is again a custom airfoil profile specifically to our specs. It does have some bolted on end plate, or not end plates, but mounts right now. which will be used to mount when it's on car, and there's a short clip of that we'll be sharing. It is a 2-piece skin. There is no center rib because it doesn't see as much load as the main element, but fully carbon fiber construction. I don't know, I would say probably weighs 5-6 pounds with these aluminum pieces in it, but that will mount there.
All right, guys, we got the dual element in and it is mounted. We test fit it yesterday, but now we have to basically disassemble it so that we can countersink some of the holes for mounting. But I'm going to do a quick little clip of disassembling the dual element from the single element so that you can kind of see how it goes together, because overall it's pretty neat how it goes together. So let's get to it. All right, dual element is now removed. Basically, we're going to have to countersink all of these holes that you saw the button heads on. So all of these holes need to be countersunk, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Then we actually have to remove the entire rear wing so that we can paint the frame of the wing, which we welded in a few weeks ago. So over here we have our little drill press. We have a countersink drill bit in the actual press, and we're going to be countersinking all these holes so that the end plate sits flush on this piece. Figured to give you a little insight on I guess how we countersink some of the parts here. This is a specific countersink specifically for an M4 so that it actually centers itself and then countersinks it concentric.
All right, so this is our front splitter. It is made of 2 pieces of 10mm thick aluminite that are bonded together. We also riveted it in multiple locations. And basically this is to create a thicker unit which increases rigidity and allows us to actually this allows us to subject, that's it. This allows us to subject some serious loads to this without it bending and deforming. We have a front lip that will basically go like this, that's rounded, and I'm working on building that for episode 9. But you can see here that we have the 2 pieces bonded together, and it's pretty dang stout. We're happy with how it's going as far as stiffness and light. It's not too heavy, about 20 pounds, I'd guess. I don't know. But that is the front splitter for right now. The diffusers are coming in today, so we'll get a video of that. And there's 3 diffusers per side. Those vent into the wheel wells and out of the wheel wells, and that improves downforce of the front splitter by increasing airspeed and doing various other aero bits that Paul can talk about more if he wants to.
Selfie stick. Alright guys, we got in the front splitter. We're going to work on bonding the 2 10mm pieces together. We can actually, I don't know if this works. Yep. There are the flat underbody panels right there. And Paul's working on circling all the holes we need to drill so that we can actually bond the 2 pieces together. We're gonna get working on that. Alright guys, we got some work going on the car today. Man Bun Mike and Paul are installing some rivets on the underbody. Bun. Anyway, I'll show you what we got going on with the front splitter. Last night Paul and I we worked on bonding the 2 splitter halves together. So basically this is 2 10mm pieces of aluminite that are bonded and riveted together in hopes that it will actually create a extremely rigid and strong unit. There's still a lot more work to go into the front splitter, but right now we're waiting for the bonding agent to cure. Bun's mics, gloves are ridiculous. All right, is that gonna work or no?
No, that's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. All right. Anyways, so we got some rivets going in to various locations, which we're going to bolt to, and then then we're gonna bolt up the flat underbody panel. Stay tuned.
So that wraps up episode 8. The outro brought to you again by Tom Lang at Gear One Performance. Apologize ahead of schedule. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but if you liked the video, don't forget to like button and hit subscribe for more sick aero content. Peace out, yo. Thanks, Tom.
I would like to buy some Brembo disc. Where can I do it?
FT86 Speed Factory, of course. Next.
How much would... No, that almost got me. They almost got me. Please do CFD analysis of a tree frog on the windshield of a FRS. This tiny bastard is lower in mileage.
No.
How big's the frog? It needs some dimensions. I'd like to see how you're mounting the front splitter when you're ready.
We will be going over that probably episode 9. Stay tuned. Anything else?
Any thoughts on making an OEM 86 vendor fence functional, or are hood vents the way to go?
Hood vents are the superior way to go. Fender vents probably will work, but not great at venting the under hood pressure. At least not in my opinion. It's kind of convoluted and out of the way.
Is the earth flat?
Yes.
These are facts.
Flat Earth Society. All right, that's good.